Hey, come on into the figure factory. I am using Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte Black on this, just as a base coat. I did give the castle a wipe down with alcohol beforehand. Now I'm giving this a dry brush, a very dry brush with just some apple barrel white. This is very cheap acrylic paint. I get most of the paint off of my brush, and then I rub it across the surface to leave it on the highs and don't get it in the lows. Let that dry all the way. And then I'm doing another dry brush, roughly the same amount of coverage with just a nice green. Having the white underneath makes the lighter areas pop, and it gives me some shading even though I'm putting down a solid color. Now I'm putting in this color aqua. All these paints were purchased from Walmart, by the way. For this project, no need for anything fancy. This is a lighter dry brush so that I leave some of that original green exposed, but I put the blue on top of the green, and I'm going to see both colors at the same time. This is a lighter green. If you pause on Beastman, he has the exact color names and everything, but this is a much lighter green, and I'm doing a lighter dry brush. So now I'm seeing three different, well, a green, a blue, and a light green. So I'm seeing three colors. And I have that white under there and the black under there. So I'm building a lot of good depth as I go lighter and lighter with both the dry brush and the color. This is a 50-50 mix of these two colors. One of them is a color shift, and one is just a nice bright spring green gloss. This is a very light dry brush this time. I'm just hitting those highlights, kind of. I made the decision to go ahead and highlight by painting. I'm not dry brushing this on. I'm painting an actual line of that same color I mixed, that 50-50, that is getting painted on to the top of each rock. Just a thin line, and that's going to really give a highlight and really sell the three-dimensionality of these rocks. The highlight on the face, on that skull, so important. Really took my time to think about where those went and how heavy I wanted to go. for the roof, it is just that brown there. There's no metallic in there, but I used that on the door earlier. And I'm hitting the roof shingles, and I'm hitting all of the wood on the castle. There's two little beams up front, and there's a couple window sills that look like they're made out of wood. And then I don't have a picture of this, but this is just a yellow that I mixed in with the brown to get a highlight for the edge of the shingles. Now I am airbrushing around every single rock, and I'm just using that ultra matte again. I spray it into a bottle and then I pour it into the airbrush. Low pressure, I don't want spatter. I'm using a Pache H, and I'm going around every single rock. Look at the difference from where I have done to where I haven't done, and how much that pops all of the details. Puts every rock on an island of color. Even the shingles get the shading with the ink, with the spray paint. This is a painstaking step, but it really makes it worth it, really makes it pop. It's worth doing. This whole paint took about 3 hours and 20 minutes, and a big part of it was lining every rock, hitting every gum line, and really making things stand out. Here I'm blacking out the door. I want to give it the same dry brush treatment. Again, I'm using that brown. And the metallic shown there, I'm using on all of the door hardware. And then I'm airbrushing around that symbol to give it a shadow and to kind of lift it off that door visually. And I'm hitting all the boards. I sprayed a little gold spray paint onto the table and dry brushed the high parts of that. Big deal here. This is Bulldog from Sculpt Nouveau Satin. 5 coats. Here I missed that windowsill, so I'm hitting it. But 5 coats of the Bulldog protectant, the sealer, and let it dry in between each coat. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I hope you guys watch future projects all based around MOTU, Masters of the Universe, and probably featuring Beast Man. He's my favorite. Thanks for watching, everybody.